Hey guys, how are you? My name is Danilo. Today I'm talking from Brisbane office. So today I'm here with Marcos from Torrens, and we are gonna talk about masters in business information systems. So we are gonna talk with him and then with Claudio from Cyber Migration, and we are gonna understand which pathways I have to apply for my citizenship, what I can do, which kind of position I can work if I study this course here in Australia. Okay? So the first 30 minutes you're gonna talk with Marcos from Torrens, and then the last 30 minutes you're gonna talk with Claudio from Cyber Migration. Okay? So just to let you know, Information Planet is a company with more than 23 years old. We have more than 50 offices around the world. We are based in 13 countries, and we have offices here in Australia in Adelaide, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sydney, mainly Melbourne and Perth. So come to Information Planet. We are full of experience to help you, and you are more than welcome to come here. Okay? So Marcos, talk a little bit about you and Torrens.
So I'm Business Development Coordinator for Torrens University. I have around 10 years experience in this industry. I've been an agent before, as a lot of people are aware. I worked for Information Planet before.
Good place.
So yeah, I've been a counselor, then became the manager of the Brisbane office, and then I went to a vocational provider, and now I'm at Torrens University. So I went from agent to representative of a vet college, and now higher education. So a little bit of both sides of the industry. So
you know a lot about this. So what about Torrens? So what you can talk about us?
So Torrens, Danilo, I like to describe Torrens as a very innovative company. I would like you guys to have this in mind when you think about us. We are also very flexible. We have a very flexible approach to education. So we cater for domestic students and also for international students. So we currently have 11,000 international students and around 10,000 domestic, which gives us a really good in our campuses. So very diverse and almost 50-50 between international and domestic.
Cool. Really
so
cool.
We are very flexible when it comes to payment options, when it comes to study load. We're going to discuss all these little things down the track. But I think Torrens also is a great option for international and domestic students because of the variety of courses available. So we have over 300. So I like to say it's very unlikely that a student would sit with you guys here with a study plan or a dream to study higher education, and you can't find a perfect fit for the students at Torrens. So, and also similar to Information Planet, our national presence is really good. We have several different campuses in Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, and Brisbane. We have a campus in China for hospitality, and we have a campus for design under Media and Design School in New Zealand. So we are pretty much everywhere in the main cities in Australia.
So this is really good. So what about the Master in Business Information Systems? What is the job's outcome? What means this name of this course?
So yeah, that's very interesting, Danilo, to bring up. The Masters of Business Information Systems, we like to describe as a conduit. It's like a connection between IT specialists and decision makers. So anyone in business that would like to pursue a position as general manager, CEO, marketing manager, any type of decision maker position will benefit from a course like this, because they're going to kind of understand all the terminologies from IT when the IT team develops a project, but you can process all this information and kind of translate to all the other departments. So it's a very crucial degree for anyone in business that wants to upskill and wants to take over like really senior positions as general managers or even CEOs from big companies. So it's a very, very interesting degree for that.
And how long it takes this course?
So it's a 2-year course, and in terms of job outcomes, it can be anything from, I've got written down a couple of options here, so to make sure I don't forget. Chief Technology Officer is an option, Enterprise Architect, Information Systems Manager, Finance Analyst or Business Analyst.
Cool.
And what it's good to highlight as well, all these positions we are talking about are highly recognized in the industry, and they pay really, really good money. So these positions, they vary between 85,000, and they can go up to $135,000. So yeah, it's not bad, is it? So they're very good positions to have after a degree with us.
So you said the kind of, I will read what my IT is going to show me, and I will translate for my department.
Exactly.
So the students are going to learn this.
Exactly. It's like speaking IT to business people. So we're going to become a conduit. We're going to become the person in between two different departments, which are crucial departments for big projects, for companies to have success. So you're going to develop projects, but you're going to be that person in between, communicating the information to other departments. A good thing to highlight, Danilo, as well, because of our structure, this course has 16 core subjects plus 4 electives. So if you want a course to be heavily focused in IT, when you select IT subjects, so it can be...
So you can drive your course wherever you want.
Exactly. So I'm a journalist, my background is in journalism, so if I decided to pursue this career, when it comes to electives, I might add more marketing subjects, more design, more communication, or public relations, photography. So students can design. What I've seen recently at our Brisbane campus, when a student have a background in IT, they tend to put the course like heavily focused in IT, cyber security, cloud, all these things more. Exactly. But anyone that has an interest in IT but doesn't want to make the course too heavily IT driven, they can make it a bit lighter by choosing electives in other fields. It's good to say as well, you don't need to have a background in IT to be successful in this course. We have people from all different backgrounds, so it's a course that suits pretty much anyone's needs. Of course, if you want to pursue a career as a business analyst or something related to that.
So what about the requirements to start this course? What do I need to do to start it?
So we need a bachelor or an equivalent to a bachelor degree, pretty much like all the other masters at Torrens University. And in terms of English, we require for most of our masters 6.5 in IELTS, or we call it equivalent to IELTS. It doesn't need to be an IELTS test, but it needs to be an equivalent to 6.5, no band under 6. So these are the main requirements to enter.
So let's say I study in Australia right 2 years, I finished my diploma last year, and I want to study with you guys. Are you guys going to allow me to start with this proof of English?
Exactly, Danilo. We have several different ways to prove English. So official tests, of course, we accept. Students coming from other English colleges, we have some pathways. If they're not part of our pathway document, we also have other ways to enter. If they come with a diploma, for example, we can accept them in a master's. If we're talking about a bachelor, certificate 4 will be sufficient. Another thing we do is called combined profile. So we analyze when did the student arrive in Australia, which course would the student like to do with us, their experience here, so their CV, and all the courses they have completed prior to studying with us. So we usually organize all these documents and we assess them, and usually students get a direct entry if that's the case. If they're here for, I would say, more than 1.5 years, 2 years, it's very unlikely that we can't get them a direct entry. So like I said in the beginning, we try to be very flexible. We have some rules, but we try to accommodate and cater to a lot of different scenarios.
And how do I know this course is the right one for me?
So if you want to pursue a career, like I said, in business and achieve good positions and managerial positions, and if you have an interest for IT, or at least to a curiosity of understanding some terminologies and know how to translate to your team, that would be the perfect fit for you.
All right. And what about the structure of the classes? Online, face-to-face? How it goes now?
So at Torrens, we have usually 3 options. We have like a blended version, which students have a few modules online, a few face-to-face. We have purely online, and we have purely face-to-face. Now, because of COVID regulations, yeah, we are trying to, as much as we can, courses that are suitable to be delivered online, we are keeping them online as much as we can. We trust the quality of the delivery Torrens does online. We have extensive experience delivering courses online with really good quality. The feedback is phenomenal for our online courses. But when it comes to nursing, design, other courses that we believe the hands-on elements, the face-to-face elements are crucial, they are being delivered online. So it's a little bit of a mix. For business, the majority of the modules will be online still until we believe it's safe to come back to face without putting anyone at risk.
So I can say that I studied there, and the online system is really good. Like the teachers are really good at the system. They are really helpful every time on the spot. So you don't have problems with the links, everything. So it's a really good course delivered online.
That's good to hear. Having a feedback from a student is even better from a sales manager. So I'm here offering courses and selling, but I'm very pleased to say that since I started working for Torrens, every time I come across a student, the feedback from the academic side is just impeccable. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really good.
Talking about employability, Danilo, as well, for all the courses we deliver at Torrens, we ensure students have anything between 90 to 95% employability rate. So the highest employability rate at the moment is for hospitality. I would say business courses are sitting between 90 to 95, and this means we take all job outcome. One of the ways we do this is through our job department called Careers Connect, where students can apply for jobs, upload their resumes, talk to success coaches, and discuss the best opportunities for them to get in the industry. And we currently have 3,600 industry partners. We're not talking about any job opportunities, we're talking about very huge influential brands, so top companies in the industry that we try to allocate our students.
That sounds good. So in this specific course, there are more subjects for the business side or for the IT side, or is it 50-50?
That's a little bit of a mix, and like I said, there's a lot of business modules, and considering the electives, depending on the way they balance that up, it can be more focused to IT or more focused to business, but I would say it's pretty well balanced, yeah.
And assessments. So should I organize my life?
So let's talk about assessments.
My students are afraid about this part.
Yeah, we have 3 main assessments per term, and we also have 2, like for the big assessments, we have 1 big every 6 weeks, so a very big one every 6 weeks, usually between 500 to 3,000 words. So this is the main one. We have other 2 per subject, so they're not
around 3 per subject.
Yeah, exactly. So we have 2 per subject, and then we have a small every 2 weeks. The 2 we have per subject, one will be a group assessment, one will be an individual assessment. So there's a little bit of everything, and what I like to say to students is usually they do 3 subjects per trimester. So the way Torrens divides the subjects during the year. So a master degree will have 16 subjects. So they're going to be doing 8 per year. And the way we split this is ideally our standard study plan will be 3 subjects in the first trimester, 3 in the second one, and 2 in the last one. So for each subject, students need to commit 3 hours per week plus 7 hours of preparation for class. So I would say about 25, anything between 25 to 30 hours a week students need to commit to Torrens to have a good performance.
So this was my next question. So how many days per week? How many hours?
Yeah, it's different from that.
Organize myself.
A lot of students come to Torrens with the same concept as vet colleges. Yeah, is it Tuesdays, Wednesdays? Is it Mondays, Fridays? Is it from 9 to 10? With higher education, as you know, is a little bit different. So we can't tell them exactly when they're going to study. What we can say is we have 4 timetables available. So we have 8 to 11, 8:30 to 2:30, 3 to 6, 6:30 to 9:30. So the sooner the students are ready to select their subjects, the better, because they're going to have more options in terms of the subjects they would like to do. They're going to find them in the morning timetable, in the afternoon, in the late subjects per trimester, and they have to dedicate 3 hours per subject. So it will be 9 hours for the 3 subjects plus 7 hours of preparation.
So, for example, this timetable that you show me, can I choose 3 subjects in one day?
Great question. If students select their subjects up front, which means finalize the enrollments and all the mandatory documents, pay the commencement fee, which is 3 subjects, so they need to balance 3 subjects in order to be able to choose their subjects. After they pay the 3 subjects, send all the mandatory documents to us. That's when our admissions team sends them an email with all the details for them to create their email address, like a Torrens email address. You should have one.
Yes.
And that's when you select your subjects. I strongly encourage students to do this up front. I have students trying to enroll now, which they can do, it's doable, but the subject selection was open in December. So these guys will have more options. To answer your question, if they do in advance, it's very possible, it's doable that they can choose the 3 subjects in one day. I would say the majority of the students do their courses in 2 days or in 3 days. So what's your situation at the moment?
My last term, well, this term I'm going to study online, but the last term I study only one day.
Only one day. Yeah, a lot of people.
Really good.
Yeah, a lot of people that study like on the Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Byron Bay, they try to fit everything in one day. Some people say it's a little bit too much because it's 9 hours. You're going to be dedicating 9 hours in one day, but at the same time, you're free the rest of your week for whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
so there's
you can work, you can,
pros and cons.
You can surf. You guys offer some help.
So usually a Torrens placement is for bachelor degrees. When it comes to masters, we assume the student already has prior experience in the industry, so we don't organize. We try to find them proper jobs. So when it comes to masters, our aim is to get them proper jobs in the industry so they can kick off their career getting paid really well and be happy with the investment they made to study with us. So if we're talking, let me just double check this so I'm not mistaken. So they're going to be doing in trimester 9. So in their last trimester, they're going to be doing anything between 1 to 3 months of internship, and they're going to be doing 120 hours. So this is the structure for a bachelor. But for the masters, we help them finding jobs. However, we don't do internships for them.
All right. And when can I start my course?
You already started, come on.
No, but let's say I want to change it to Master of
No, I'm
Business
joking.
Analytics.
So we have an intake in trimester 1, which is fast approaching in a week time now.
Yeah.
So
Holidays over.
trimester 1 is 15 February. For the late enrollments, we have what we call mid-intake, Danilo. It's T1B, so it's the 29th March.
This one is new, right?
This one is
New. Last year you guys didn't have this
yeah,
one, right?
we have main intakes and we have mid intakes.
All right, cool.
So about mid intakes, it's good to highlight that the students, even though the students are starting a little bit later than their colleagues, they finish at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So students that start in trimester 1B, which is the 29th March, they need to catch up. When their colleagues are delivering 1 assessment, they deliver 2. If their colleagues need to submit 2, they submit 4. So it's very important for you as education counselors to educate your students to, if they want to commit to a mid-intake, they can't have 3, 4 jobs at the same time like international students like to have. So for mid-intakes, it's full on. They need to be committed.
So they're going to finish the term in May.
Yes, so they're going to finish together with the students that started on the 15th Feb. So the study load is a little bit heavier, but it's doable. Otherwise, we have options throughout the whole year. So we have 15th Feb, which is fast approaching, 29th March, 31st May, 12th July, 13th September, 11th November.
In all campuses.
Across all campuses. Bear in mind, not every single course has all intakes. Bachelor of Nursing will be a whole different story, but for the majority of the courses, if you talk about Blue Mountains as well, hospitality is like a whole different story. But I would say for 85% of the courses we deliver, we can follow this rule.
Okay. So this one is you guys offer in Adelaide, Brisbane, Melbourne, in Sydney.
Correct.
Melbourne. All right. Okay. I think and I know you guys have on a promotion for Brisbane, right?
Exactly, Danilo. So usually for business courses, for Latin American and European students, we offer 30%, automatic scholarship. It's not a merit scholarship, it's automatic, it's related to the nationality. So Latin Americans and Europeans usually get 30, and at the moment in Brisbane for T1 and T1B, exceptionally we're offering 35%. So this drops the price a lot, so it's a really, really good opportunity to kick off your studies at Torrens in Brisbane.
So this course is included in the promotion?
This course is included, and so just so you have an idea, Danilo, the full price of this course is 53,800. If we are talking about other cities, which is a 30% scholarship, the course will be 37,970. So 34,000 to do a master degree, you are paying almost the price of a vet course if you do a breakdown per year, per month, per week.
It's really good.
It's doable.
And
it's
you can
very
study
doable.
once, twice a week. You can work. It's really good. So now I'm going to introduce you guys Victor. Victor is our education planner in Sydney, and he's going to talk with us because he's studying this course. Okay? So we're going to join him.
Danilo, can you hear me? Danilo? I cannot see you, I'm not sure.
Hey,
Hello,
Victor.
guys.
Hey, Victor.
How are you, Marcos? How are you, Danilo?
How are you?
I'm
Good to
fine.
see you.
Keeping alive.
So this is Victor. He's based in Sydney, and he's gonna talk with us a little bit about this course. He's studying there. Victor, tell us about your background and if you have any IT previous knowledge.
Okay, so my background, my professional background, I have been working in business field since my 18 years old. It's almost 12 years. I've never had any work related to information technology, to be honest.
Mhm.
And I finished my background, my bachelor in administration back home, and also my postgrad in business management. Being honest, I was always interested in information technology field, but I've never had any course related to this and any work position or professional experience. So yeah, that's my life.
So how long have you been studying this course at Torrens?
So at Torrens, I have started at the beginning of last year in 2020. So it was when the COVID situation started. It was an online option that I selected, which I'm really impressed. It's really good, to be honest. I really like it. And it is almost 1 year that I'm studying there already. So I still have 1 more year to finish the master.
And did you find the course really hard for you, difficult to keep studying, working, having a life, social life?
Yeah, I mean, like for the timetable, as Marcus said, it's really easy when you can select the subjects and you select the hour that you want to study. So I was planning everything in advance. And for example, last term, I studied Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. So I could work in the morning as a part-time job, and then I could have my studies and study at home as well. For the IT perspective, so as I didn't have any contact with IT before, it was a challenge to learn, but the teachers, they were very they were helping a lot the new students. They know that most of the students, they don't have any background in IT, but they want to learn. So I can say that I have learned languages such as SQL to create and manage database system, which is important in business. I have learned Python, which is one of the most used languages for programming nowadays, if you want to program a new system for a business. And in my perspective, I can say that when you, for example, I have experience in business. I know how to sell, I know how to administrative skills. And the university, when they are telling you, when they are teaching you the technical skills such as program language and etc., they are using business examples. So how to create a business for this company, how to create a database for this company. So it's easier for you to see the big picture. So yeah, I have been learning a lot this, and it's easier to understand in this way. I was afraid about IT, like, oh my God, how can I will learn how to program, how to create a system. So it's easier for me to understand with business examples. So yeah, it's been really.
Now you can see the picture, right?
So you feel like you're much more prepared to be a business analyst in a global context now.
That's true. That's true. And also, I've been learning some really, really real topics, for example, microservices. So nowadays with COVID, cloud and everything, so microservice system is one of the hot topics nowadays for IT. And I used to speak with friends who did like bachelor in information technology, and sometimes they don't know about this topic because it's not new to me. So yeah, I'm feeling so grateful to be studying and learning a lot. It's been really good, to be honest.
That's great, Victor.
Yeah.
Great to hear.
After this conversation, I'm thinking to change mine.
Yeah, I think what's interesting as well, Victor, that you really well highlighted as well, because the majority of our lecturers, they are actively now in the industry, and the way we design courses, before we launch courses, we usually sit with our industry partners for a brainstorm, and we ask them what are the skills required if one of our students, studied a master's in this year at Torrens. If they came to you and applied for a job, would you employ them straight away if they had these skills? So this is what we usually do. So we talk to the industry first and say, what do you require, our students to learn in order to be able to offer them jobs? So it's a combination between what the industry is looking for and what our students are aiming for in their careers. So it's a perfect match.
It's really good. Guys, I would like to say thank you to Victor, to Marcus, and Torrens.
Thank you, Danilo. Thank you, Victor. Good to catch up. Good to see you.
It's really good to listen that. So now we are going to talk with Claudio from Cyber Migration. He's going to explain how, of course, I can start my process to get a PR. Let's see.
Should I leave you to it?
Yeah.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Sorry, actually, for some reason it wasn't sending the connection, and I was expecting. I don't know.
That's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
Claudio,
all right.
Can you talk a little bit about you and about Cyber Migration?
All right. My name is Claudio Garzini. I'm a registered migration agent and director of Cyber Migration. Cyber Migration is, we have offices in Perth, Adelaide, and we also have a representative in Sydney. We have been in the market for over 5 years, and Information Planet is our major partner in education agencies. So we are happy to be part of the group and help students as well to achieve their dreams.
Cool. So I was talking with Marcos and Victor about the course of Business Information Systems, the Masters. I would like to know if I study this course, if I'm eligible to migrate to Australia.
Well, this is an interesting course, especially because it's a bachelor's degree, right? So when you study the bachelor degree, you already have a big advantage and a big possibility of achieving a permanent residency, because you will have the graduate visa, the 485 visa, of up to 3 years, depending on where you study. 2 year, one renewable for another 1 year, and that is a major key to achieve permanent residency nowadays. Why? Because most students will have to work or do like some kind of program after they complete their courses, and the graduate visa, the 45, comes to help you to achieve the experience you need in order to achieve permanent residency. So it's not as simple as just study the course and apply for a visa, but it offers very good possibilities and pathways. But obviously we will have to discuss and make a plan on how you will meet the requirements after the course to apply for your visa. But it's a good pathway. Usually, it's a good course to start building your pathway.
No, that's really good to know. So it's a business course or IT course? Which is the assessing authority? And there's a different pathway to other IT courses?
Well, it is like Marcus said, it is a bit of a mix between business and IT. If you search on Cricos, it is classified as an IT course, and that is important for immigration purposes. But there are many occupations in the list that are a mix of business and IT. So we can explore some occupations. I'll give some examples here, like the ICT business analyst, which is an IT occupation, but is very related to business, right? So there are other occupations as well, like, for example, ICT project management, project manager, which is a business and IT mixed occupation. There's the ICT sales representative. Again, it's a mix of IT with business, so you need to have a bit of knowledge on both fields. There's ICT business development manager is also on the list. So there are many possibilities for us to explore. The biggest key on how we're going to find the pathway for you would be how you're going to build your electives. This will be important for when we will apply for either ACS, in case you will be pursuing a more IT field of the course, or VETASES, if you are going to pursue a more business career after this course. But another major key in your migration plan will be what you're going to do after the course. What's going to be your employment? So because this is a very broad course, you will be studying IT and business combined. It will depend on how is going to be your employment after the course. So if you finish the course and you find a job in a business environment, maybe we will have to explore some business occupations. But if you finish the course and you go for the more IT, if you want to work with IT and you find a job in IT, then we have to check what occupations in IT will fit your employment after the course. But the course is a very good starting point, which will give you many possibilities, and we have to check how is going to be built your electives and your employment after the course.
Okay, so what is the difference between business information systems and business analytics, talking about migration purpose?
The business information system will be an IT core course. So a business analyst is a person in the Skills Assessment Authority is the Australian Computer Society, and that shows us that it is an IT company, is an IT course in its core. Business analytics is more of a business course. So we will have to explore other occupations, maybe a market research or something like that. it is not going to be an ACS, Australian Computer Society occupation. So the Skills Assessment Authority will have to be a business, more business related, such as VETASES, and not IT. So business analytics is more business, and business information systems is more IT, but you can combine a little bit of business as well.
Okay, so I will tell you more about what my students are asking me when they come to quote with me. So most of the time, the students are thinking of doing a master in IT to apply for a position available on the list. However, some of them, they avoid to study course with the name business. So I will find a position in the skills list to apply if I study business information systems.
Yeah. There are many occupations that combine business with IT, right? So, for example, ICT business analyst. So it is in the medium long-term list. It is available, for example, in New South Wales. It is available in Adelaide. So it is an IT occupation, but you need business skills because you're going to be talking and discussing business with the companies to install or to create a business system. So a business IT system. So you need knowledge of business. ICT project manager. ICT project manager, you need knowledge of IT, but in its core, it is a business combined occupation. So you need skills in IT and in management. ICT business development manager. It is on the list. It is on the list. Maybe if you look on each state's list, you won't find this occupation as often. But it is in states, for example, in regional states such as South Australia, they have these occupations there. So there are still pathways for people to apply if they study this course, and if they find their pathway through the ICT business analyst, for example, it is in the medium long, and most of the states will have this occupation on the list. Maybe not at the moment because of the pandemic, but historically, is in many lists have these occupations.
Okay, so do I need to study a master, or is there the same migration pathway with bachelor if I want to apply for these positions?
There's the same migration pathway as a bachelor, as a master. It doesn't make any difference. The only thing is that when you study, you have to work after you complete your course. So it's very important, the 485, which is available regardless if you study a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. So it is exactly the same pathway. So it won't change anything. If you already have a bachelor, I don't know if the Torrens will require you any other related field in your bachelor, probably not. But you can go directly to a master's degree, and you will have the same pathway as you did if you studied like a bachelor's degree.
Okay. Could you please explain to us the steps to migration pathway with the Master in Business Information System?
All right. So when you complete the course, you have the first step, which is the qualification. ACS, the Australian Computer Society, will require a combination of work experience plus qualification. So you will go for your graduate visa, and you already have your qualification. What you need to do is to gain work experience. And you can work as a business analyst, a project manager, a development manager, a sales representative, whatever you work, you can do the skills assessment with Australian Computer Society for that occupation that you have been working on. After you complete your skills assessment, we have to check your points score to see what visas you qualify. And also we have to check availability of your occupation on the state you have been working. So let's say it is at the moment it's not available, for example, in Victoria. So if you study in Melbourne, you probably won't have a pathway at the moment to apply for a skill visa. But we can check if you don't have any other pathway, for example, an employer sponsor visa, which is also a possibility because you will have 2-year work experience during your graduate visa if you find a job. and we can explore also employer sponsor visa. But usually you just have to finish your course, find an employment, apply for your skills assessment, and find the state that has the occupation available in their list and see what the states want from you. At the moment, for business analysts, New South Wales has the occupation available. So if you are working, if you studied and you have been working in your field as a business analyst in New South Wales, you might be able to apply. Of course, it is very competitive in New South Wales, but you still can apply. South Australia also has. So if you have been studying in Adelaide and you find employment after your course is complete, you will probably be able to apply in South Australia.
So do you think it's possible if I get 65, 70 points to apply for in South Australia?
In South Australia, okay, yeah. They are not making when they want more points. They say at the moment, because the list started last week, they are making every occupation that I checked so far. They are only requiring 65 points. As soon as the occupation starts having too much applications, probably the state will raise the point score required. So if you're starting to study now, keep your mind that you will need 65 points, but maybe at the end of your course or at the end of your work experience, when you are finally eligible to apply, you might need a higher point score. But then we can study how you can raise your point score with better IELTS or more work experience. We can check other ways for you to reach the point score you need to apply.
Okay, so just making clear for who are listening us, I need to work in IT or business IT field after my graduation in a 485 visa, right?
Yes. There's also a program called a professional year, which IT professionals can undertake. So they undertake a 1 year academic professional year, which is kind of a internship for 1 year. And that also qualifies for ACS. So they can get a skills assessment from ACS if they do the bachelor's degree. And during their graduate visa, they do the professional year. So they get the skills assessment. But then we have to check if the state is not requiring you to work, because maybe the state will say, okay, you've done the professional year, you gain 5 extra points, but I don't accept professional year as a work experience. I need you to be working in your field. So okay, it's very important for people after they complete the course, before enrolling in a professional year, which will cost you money and you won't have any financial return. It's very unlikely we will have some financial return from the work you will be doing. Is a smarter way to try to find employment, because you gain the same 5 points, you'll gain money because you will be working, and you will probably meet the requirements the state will ask from you. So, for example, South Australia now, you have to be working in your field. Professional year is not enough. So it's very important that you leave professional year just if the state is okay with that. It might not be.
Okay, so let's gonna use Victor's example. He had no experience before in this sector, in IT, and he decided to do the master. Does he have a pathway for PR?
Yeah. Obviously, you don't need previous experience. It's not a requirement. But like he said, it might be challenging. The course might be challenging because you don't have any background, and if you pick too many subjects in IT, it might be a challenge for you. And also, if you need to find employment, and you will probably need to find employment after you finish the course, because you don't have a good resume, you don't have a good background, you don't have too much work experience, it might be difficult to find employment because you are a recent graduate, you are a master's graduate, but you don't have any work experience in the field. So it might be challenging. But it's totally possible. I know many people that finish the course and they get a job It's just a matter of finishing the course. You have one of the big advantages to find work in your field, which is the graduate visa. Many people are qualified, they have experience, they have the qualification, but they don't have a visa. They only have student visas. And when companies call them, they say, okay, I cannot employ you because you have a work limitation. You can only work part-time. Because you have done the graduate visa, because you have done the master's degree, you have the graduate visa, and during the graduate visa, when you call an employer and say, I can work full-time, this is already something that he will consider maybe in hiring you. So if you do find employment after you finish your course, your chances of applying for skill visa or employer sponsor visa will increase very much. So it is the key of the whole course is to find employment after you complete the course.
Okay, so do I need an employer to sponsor me, or can I migrate independently?
You can migrate independently. You always need a sponsor. If it's not a sponsor, a nominator, if it's not a company, you will have to be either immigration through the 189 as a business analyst, because it is in the medium long-term list, or it is going to be the state. Because the 189 is very competitive nowadays, I would recommend you, most students, and they won't have much experience after they finish the course, to go for the state if they don't want to be sponsored by a company. So we have to check each state if they have the occupation you will be working on and what they are requiring. At the moment, South Australia is definitely the best option. They have all the possible occupations that the course might qualify students for. South Australia has on their lists, and they always only require people to graduate in Adelaide and work for a little while after you complete the course. If you have already started your course in New South Wales or any other city, it's fine, as long as when you complete the course, you move to a state that has your occupation on the list, and you do whatever the state is requiring from you, which will probably be a work experience in the field. So if you secure employment after the course in a state that has your occupation on the list, the pathway will be open for you. It's going to be very likely you will have a good pathway, regardless if you don't have an employer to sponsor you.
Cool. So you mentioned now South Australia. There is any difference to study in a regional area or in the major cities for migration pathway?
Yes. Yeah, for example, South Australia will always benefit students from South Australia. So if you study somewhere else, you won't have some of the advantages that South Australia is offering to their students. So for example, if you study somewhere else, in Brisbane or New South Wales, for example, and you want to apply to South Australia, you will probably have to move there during your graduate visa, work for 12 months, and maybe they will only invite you on the 491, which is the regional provisional visa, which will take you 3 years to get from. Yeah. If you study in South Australia, you won't probably need to work 1 year. Obviously, you need to work because of ACS, but let's say if it was another occupation, maybe 3 months working there would be already enough for you. And also, you gain more points when you study regional. So if you study in South Australia, you get 5 more points to study compared to Brisbane or Sydney.
Cool. And how good should be my English?
If you are in New South Wales, your English has to be pretty good because it is competitive. Depending on the people's age, I will recommend either a 7 on 8 on IELTS, proficiency English or superior in English, because it is New South Wales. In South Australia, they are only requiring competency at the moment, but I would expect them to raise to superior very soon, because many people are applying, and when they starting out of positions available, they might raise the IELTS score just to make it more difficult and select more the applicants they are going to be inviting. And for you to work in your field, for you to work, 7 on IELTS is very important, especially because you won't have too much experience. So we might need a better English score. So I would recommend everyone to at least get 7 on IELTS, proficient English, 65 on PTE.
Okay. And how do I know if I meet all the requirements to apply?
The requirements will be many, actually. We have to check the requirements from ACS. We have to check your point score, and we have to also check the requirements from the state you will be applying for. So we have to discuss ACS, because you are doing a master's degree in IT in Australia. ACS will not be a challenge for you. It's all the matter of finding an employment after your course and working for at least 12 months. It can be part-time. So if you don't find a full-time employment, if you only find part-time employment, for 12 months after the course, you're okay with the ACS. Then we have to check your point score. This is going to be individually for each applicant. We have to discuss and check your age, qualification, experience, and English score, and if you're married or not. And also we have to check what are the requirements for the stage. If the stage has your occupation on the list, it is already a big thing. Now we have to check with the state what they want. They want you to work in the field. They want you to have studied in the field. Each state has different requirements, and we have to discuss on an individual basis where you study and what you have to do to meet the requirements from the state.
Okay. And how much do I need to save to get my PR?
The good news for IT professionals is that ACS is cheap. ACS only charges $500 for the skills assessment. It's much cheaper than any other skills assessment authority. So it is a good start, just paying $500 for the skills assessment. Obviously, if you're doing through a migration agent, the migration agent will charge their own fees. But then we also need a graduate visa. Graduate visa is also not very much in price. If you apply by yourself, you don't have anyone else in your visa, it's $1,650. If you're applying through a migration agent, they will have their own fees. If you are including family, it will be more expensive as well. After you complete your work experience, if you are applying for the stage, depending on the state, some states charge $300, some states charge $600, some states don't have any other fees to invite you. Again, if you're applying through a migration agent, they will have their own fees, and the visa, the permanent visa, skill visa, it will be $4,000, $4,045 for the main applicant, and $2,025 for the secondary applicant. It can come up to $10,000 if you are applying through a migration agent. For the whole package, probably $10,000 after you complete the course.
So this one we can pay happy, right?
When you get your permanent residency, don't worry about the money anymore. You will be a permanent resident of Australia.
You're going to have a good position, work in a good position, PR. Okay. Claudio, thank you so much.
IT, right? Yeah, it is IT, so you have a good salary. Most IT salaries nowadays vary from $80,000 to $130,000 per year. So it's pretty good salary. So $10,000 for the visa is not very much.
Okay, this is really good. Claudio, thank you so much for your help. I believe many people like what they listen today. So guys, just to let you know, if you are interested to study this course, come to Information Planet, talk with us in all Australia. We're going to help you. And then Claudio, after that, is going to help you guys to achieve this desired PR. Okay? Claudio, thank you so much. And
thank
see you soon.
See ya.
Bye.